Like went right into it.
I was waiting for the end and then I
went
froze.
up with my leg. Okay, sorry. That's a lot.
Okay. Hi, and welcome to the Nerdy Psychologist Book Club.
Get ready to explore the psychology behind your favorite YA novels.
I'm Brandy Hawk. I'm a trauma psychologist and a proud book nerd.
And I'm Deanna Boyes, a psychology expert who also a fellow book nerd.
Let's discuss our favorite heroes and villains, why they do what they do, and what that means for us.
Welcome to the club.
All right, so we are continuing to discuss Sunrise on the Reaping today. Reminder that every month we'll read one book and we'll have a different topic talking about a different character each week during that month. And then the next month we'll get a new book.
Yep.
So, Deanna, for the last time,
Okay.
please share what this book is about.
I'm going to get really good at these synopses. Yes. Okay. So Sunrise on the Reaping is following Haymitch Abernathy as he traverses and deals with the awfulness that is the Hunger Games, which is in a dystopian future, which is in the United States somewhere, where a brutal capital basically controls its citizens with the fear, instills the fear in them and instills the threat of being murdered.
That is a threat.
But they also maintain order, and they do this with the Hunger Games, where they reap children and send them off to a bloodbath, basically. And yeah, it's awful. It's an awful dystopia. It's a lovely,
very, very horrible
dystopian book.
It's a great book. It's a horrible place
that, is kind of real
in some ways.
in some ways.
Yeah. Sometimes it hits a little too close to home.
Sometimes, a lot of the times, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the times.
But we talked about this. I love this book. I always think that Suzanne Collins does a great job with the characters, and just kind of full-fledged characters as soon as they come on the page, but also the universe and understanding a little bit about what you're dealing with in this universe of Panem is super interesting. So, in true our book club fashion, I have a fun drink for us.
I love it. Okay. What is it?
It's called Sunrise on the Reaping.
Appropriate.
And it's like a little sunrise picture. I'm gonna go get it.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Yay. I love it.
They get a little mixed up, but they're delicious. And I'm sitting on my book. But cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. You can kind of see a little bit. There's a little bit of a sunrise. So a little bit of sunrise on the mimosa kind of style.
Oh, that is so good.
That is really good. Recipes are on our Patreon.
Wow. I am so excited to drink that for the next hour.
I know. Yeah. It's so good. Not but it's so good.
I do love that too. So I feel like it is impossible to talk about Sunrise on the Reaping or any Hunger Games book without discussing propaganda.
Let's do it.
Okay. So propaganda, right, is the way that large organizations, in this case, the capital, the government, gets people to believe something is true, even if the people don't necessarily believe it or know, truthfully, that it's not true.
Yeah.
Right. Propaganda is this organization telling us over and over, this is truth, this is truth, this is truth, until we believe it.
Yeah. Repetition is important.
Repetition is important. It actually has a name. So this is actually a cognitive psychology term called the illusory truth effect.
And I have tried to say that word so many times. The elusive
Illusory.
Illusory.
So the illusory truth effect says that the more we hear something, the more we believe it.
Okay. This is something that like comes up a lot because
Constantly.
we are often in the world inundated with a lot of information,
Mhm.
and misinformation can spread by like wildfire, and sometimes can like stick forever.
Yeah.
This comes up, I think a long time ago we were taught like, oh, we only use like 10% of our brain or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like, that's just not true.
That
sounds insane.
Absolute
Like when you
not
like really
fact.
actually break it down, you're like, wait, how would that work? Tell me more.
It's completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
It
Like,
is not truth.
It's not truth. And I don't really know where that came from. It came from somebody, but like it was said so much that it's just like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And you should move on in your life because humans as who we are, we evolutionarily operate under like heuristics, which like help us kind of like navigate the world, because you can't take in so much stimulation all the time.
No, it's impossible.
It's impossible.
There's too much.
Your brain can't take those things. So it relies on basically algorithms for all those nerdy people out there to be able to help you understand and like go, this is a threat, this isn't a threat. Like evolutionarily, that's where it kind of sits with. And this comes into play too with information.
Absolutely.
You get information taught to you and you're like, I have to believe that's true because the person that told me is, you know, an authority in some capacity.
Yeah. I mean, that's a different cognitive psychology heuristic,
True,
right?
True.
So there's lots of things that make us decide whether to believe something or not, who tells us, the environment that we're in. But the illusory truth effect says that it doesn't matter who told you, doesn't matter if the very first time you heard it, you knew that's not true.
Yeah.
The more you hear something, the more you believe it is true. Even if the whole entire time you're telling yourself, this isn't true, the more you hear it, eventually it's going to sink in.
Sorry, I didn't say that loud.
So let's talk about it within the book.
Let's do it.
It comes up all the time. So we see this a lot in the book with the propaganda, right?
Yeah.
And so let's start there. Propaganda, the first time we see it is in District 12. And so this is on page 15.
I went right to it. I was so proud of myself.
That's very impressive. Yeah. So on page 15, we see that the square, the main square, is plastered with posters and crawling with heavily armed peacekeepers in their white uniforms. Lately, the theme has been no peace, and the slogans bombard you from every side. No peace, no bread. No peace, no security. And of course, no peacekeepers, no peace. No capital, no peace. Hanging behind the temporary stage in front of the Justice Building is a huge banner of President Snow's face with the words, Panem's #1 peacekeeper.
Isn't that so insane that they call the security forces peacekeepers?
That is illusory truth in and of itself.
Right? Like all of these, like, yeah, that's the only way we keep peace.
And you have to call them this. They don't have other names. Their names are the peacekeepers.
Yeah.
And so when you talk about the peacekeepers, you are using the word peace and you are reminding yourself with propaganda, these people are creating peace. Yeah. So super fun.
Super fun. Love it.
And we might think, right, the capital has to give this propaganda to the districts so that the districts believe that the peacekeepers are there for good reason. Mm-hmm. But turns out the capital also has to use propaganda on its own capital people.
It does, because you can't just like expect everyone to fall in line and agree with you.
Because, I mean, the Hunger Games is literally killing children. It is bringing children who were not involved with the rebellion, right? These children were not part of the rebellion. Now we're many generations later.
50 years.
They're not even remotely involved with the rebellion, but we're still bringing these children in and making them murder each other.
You have to reinforce it.
You have to reinforce it. So on page 60, we see in the Capitol that there are banners that deck the station. No peace, no prosperity. No Hunger Games, no peace. It's the same campaign they used in our square back in District 12, but with slogans geared to the Capitol residents. Seems the Capitol has to convince its own citizens too.
It must have been such an interesting perspective for them coming in, because in Panem, no one can go in between the districts,
Right.
and no one can go in the Capitol unless they maybe District 1 or 2 might be able to go in the Capitol if they have a job or something.
Right.
But they're just getting exposed. They've only been in their world where they know they're getting bombarded with this message, but then they go and go, oh, they're getting bombarded with a message too.
Right.
And
it's a slightly different message.
it's a little bit different.
Right? So
Kind of puts a little stab at the armor of oh yeah, they're also in this as pawns.
yeah, the Capitol members are also pawns. They're also being fed these lies, and they're being told over and over that if there's not a Hunger Games, there won't be peace. If there's no peace, there's not prosperity. And the people in the Capitol have been told over and over that the way to know that you are making it is through your prosperity and your money.
Yeah. I was looking into reading what jobs Capitol people have, and they're bankers and doctors, and they're just white collar jobs
And fashion designers.
and oh yeah, obviously, not Magno, but Cigna. And they get to go to school, and they get to go have real lives.
Yep.
And they're not just set up to only be for District 12 in the mines, or you work as a merchant kind of thing. It's kind of the two paths.
Absolutely.
Stressful, man.
So we're in the Capitol. We're getting these repetitions, right? In the districts, they're being told, peacekeepers bring peace. Peacekeepers keep you from dying, basically.
Yeah.
Right? Which is intriguing because most of the people that are killed by peacekeepers. So
Yeah.
that's interesting.
We could go somewhere with that, but we'll stay here.
And in the Capitol, they're being told, without the Hunger Games, you won't have peace.
Yeah.
So over and over, the Hunger Games are what's necessary
It's the linchpin
for peace to happen. We have to do this. But what is peace?
Oh, what is peace?
That's such a good question.
Oh, man. I don't know if I have a good answer for that. But in the world of Hunger Games, it's literally you just get to keep doing the thing that you're doing.
Yeah. It's no war.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to be a slightly
Do
different nerd for a
Do
second.
it. Do it.
So I am also a Broadway nerd.
You really are, though.
And so in Rent.
In Rent. You have been talking about this for weeks, by the way.
I know. Well, actually, it's different than the thing I was talking about before.
Oh, okay.
I'm really such a nerd. So there's a line in La Vie Boheme that says the opposite of war isn't peace, it's creation.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes, yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And so I think that the Capitol is presenting peace as the opposite of war, right? And people are remembering the dark days, right?
They constantly bring that up. Oh, the dark days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the opposite of that is peace. But peace just means no war. It does not mean creation. It does not mean
stagnation.
Progress.
Yes. Yeah. It's interesting to think about the slow progress that does happen, because this is the 50 years of after the dark days.
Mm-hmm.
The second quarter quell, things have not progressed as much as they could have, even from the last time that if you read the Ballad of the Songbird and Snakes, the other one. But since the last one, not much has changed.
Not much.
Very little. So
There's
that's
a
really
lot
good
of
point.
technology increases, but people's lives are not substantially different.
Yeah. And the technology that has increased is to benefit the propaganda.
Absolutely.
To reinforce the illusory truth.
The illusory truth.
Yeah.
Good job with that.
I know. I said it right this time, but
got
I had to
it. You did
say it a little
well.
quieter because I was if I say it wrong.
You got it right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So the more that we hear this, the more that we believe it. And then we continue.
Open your books.
Open your books. So this is like a slightly different way, right? So illusory truth comes up fully in propaganda, but we also use illusory truth constantly in our lives, often to our own benefit.
Do tell.
So on page 200, the Haymitch, Maisley, Wyatt, they're talking about sort of how to make themselves look better and how to bring down the careers. And so we hear calling them the careers still makes them sound like they're better than us, says Maisley. We need to give them a stupid nickname. Name calling. Excellent, exclaims Plutarch. Cheap but effective. And then Haymitch is remembering itchy, Haymitchy.
Oh, Maisley.
Cheap but effective. But the nickname should call them stupid without being stupid itself, right? And so we're talking about how to make people believe something through the words that you're using. And so bullying, when we call people mean names over and over, that is a way of getting them to believe it and getting other people to believe it, even if they didn't in the beginning think it was true.
Mm. I just remembered what it was. Near beer.
Oh, yes. I mean, it was a good nickname, right? It served its purpose.
But like thinking about it too, like we're going back to the repetition. They didn't do nearly enough repeating it.
But like Caesar did.
Oh, true. Right? He did. You're right.
When they were doing their interviews, Caesar must have heard it and he questions their stupidity, right?
Yeah.
And it starts with the first tribute and then it continues on and on and on. And then Haymitch is able to use that to his advantage in the games when one of the tributes comes out and he says something like, you don't want them to think you're stupid, do you?
Oh, yes.
Right? And it's because that truth.
You say to Panache, maybe?
Panache, yeah. Panache had heard it. It had taken its root inside of him. And so when Haymitch brought up the word stupid, Panache is immediately thinking that's true. I need to prove it wrong, right?
Yeah.
But it gets inside of his head.
Good point.
Thank you.
Yeah. You know, you bring up Plutarch.
Yeah.
And it brings up a little bit with like, why are people like, yes, you get reinforced this and there is a fear, but why?
Yeah.
Why?
Why what specifically?
Why do they continue with this?
Why do they continue with the Hunger Games?
With the Hunger Games, besides like the no peace, like it's just like implied. You just comply with it.
There's a term for that.
Oh.
Implicit submission.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that you were talking about something that Plutarch says.
Yes. That was a good one. It's him and Haymitch and they're talking.
I think 104.
Yeah.
Is that right?
And they're talking about why do we keep doing this?
Yeah.
So like all the districts outnumber the capital.
So much. Like it's not even funny.
Like it's not even funny. It's like you outnumber them and you outnumber the peacekeepers in there.
Right.
Why don't you rise up?
Right.
Which is interesting. And we don't need to get into this right this second, but it's interesting that Plutarch is the one that's saying this because Plutarch is a capital citizen.
Right.
And it's like, why don't you do something?
I mean, he has power.
He has power and privilege. Why is he relying on the people that are being subjugated to do the uprising?
It's a good question. I wonder, like,
not that we have to answer this or anything, because it's like that's kind of like a big question.
It's a big question. I wonder if there's a piece of him that really does want things to be different. I think that is true. Like, there's a big piece of him that wants things to be different. I wonder how much of it is his fear of being the one that steps up and makes things happen versus how much of it is kind of good intentions gone awry, that he wants the people being hurt most to be the ones taking a stand. And I feel like that's something that can easily be fallen into, that like we want to see the people that are hurting to stand up but sometimes the people in power need to stand up first so that they know they can.
Yes. Such a good point.
Thanks.
Yeah. No, but like literally, like it's like I was reading this. I remember thinking like, okay, yeah, that's so true. You guys outnumber so he says, yes, we far outnumber the Peacekeepers in 12. I think about the weapons. So like for context, this is happening in the training place. Basically like a potential rebellion could happen right away.
Like right now.
Right this second. Because I forgot like why someone, what's it called? There's something that happened. I forget. Like basically like all the tributes are together and they could take down the Peacekeepers that are there.
You've got all these weapons. They're like literally holding weapons and there's just a few Peacekeepers around and Haymitch is like, oh, I could kill all of these people.
Yeah. And like the other, what's it called? Tribute was like, you have the guns though. Like that's the big fear. Like you might kill some of us.
Right.
But like not all.
Not all.
Not all. But yes, we far outnumber the Peacekeepers in 12. I think about the weapons we could lay our hands on, pickaxes, knives, possibly some explosive. But in the face of automatic rifles, aerial bombings, gases, and the capital's menagerie of muds, I don't think we submit, I say. It's implied you accept the capital's conditions.
Oh, Plutarch says that?
Yeah, that's who Plutarch says to him. Because we don't want to end up dead.
Yeah.
Do you really not see that? And he goes, no, I do. I see the hangings and the shootings and the starvation and the Hunger Games. I do, Plutarch says. And yet I still don't think the fear they inspire justifies this arrangement we've all entered into. Do you?
Oh.
Like it is a very, like it's a pointed question, but it's like, okay, Plutarch, you're also part of it.
Right? And I guess Plutarch would say, well, I am doing something. I'm giving him information. I'm helping with this like underground
cognitive dissonance
idea.
Again coming into play.
Absolutely.
Yeah, true.
Maybe it's smart, right? Like if he stood up to President Snow, he would just be dead.
Yeah. Yeah, like him by himself. Like you need to like start a 25-year-long revolution.
Literally. It takes 25 years from this day until it finally comes to pass.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big testament into how like entrenched these things are into like the cognitive dissonance of it all, like the illusory truth, like the propaganda that gets so entrenched to who we are as humans.
Right. I am a District 12 person. I can never rise above my station. I can never take on the Capitol. I see the Peacekeepers. They are in charge.
Yeah.
There's no other information. The only information that they're getting is that the Peacekeepers are absolutely in charge.
Let's talk about Haymitch again. Real quick.
Yeah.
Let's bring up Haymitch and Lenore.
Oh, Lenore Dove.
Yeah. Because Haymitch often just readily submits to stuff. And we talked about this. And we talked about him just kind of like laying down. Like, and we talked about trauma response. Yes, submit response. Yeah. Which, makes complete sense. It's a very valid trauma response. Freeze and submit.
Right.
But in general, like the whole idea behind like, why do we continue to do these things? Why do we allow them to do these things? And Haymitch often has the like, well, because we just have to. But Lenore comes in and she's like, but what if we don't? What if we could imagine a world where we're not just submitting to the Capitol?
Yeah.
Oh, I love her.
I do too.
Her little covey ways.
And that imagining, right? Like how important is that to get out of the illusory truth? The illusory truth says the more I hear it, the more I believe it. And so we have to be able to imagine something different. And then the illusory truth effect works in the other way too, right? Yeah. The more you hear or imagine the opposite, the more you're going to believe that's possible too.
Yeah. I love her.
I do too.
It's so sad.
I know. The end of the book is the worst part of the book.
It's literally the worst. I mean, it's funny because like we know it's bad. We already knew about Haymitch and how bad he had it.
That's what made this book so hard, is
Yeah.
because you know it's going to end poorly.
Yeah.
And you just, the whole time you're thinking, maybe not.
Maybe not. Just keep kind of hoping, like, maybe he'll get to keep somebody. Maybe Sid's still around. No.
But no.
No. Spoilers. Spoilers, everyone.
Yeah. It's
Everyone
not good.
dies.
Everyone dies except Haymitch.
Except Haymitch.
And then he's stuck knowing that his actions resulted in everyone dying.
Yeah.
Which does not mean it's his fault.
No.
Right?
But it definitely reinforces the mindset of like, why do you submit?
Yeah.
It seems futile.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like,
And that's more information, right?
Yeah.
If I go against the Capitol, if I go against Snow, these people are going to die.
Yeah.
And so I can't do it anymore. I have to stop.
That's how Snow keeps the control, is the, like the targeted, like targeting one specific person or one specific group or whatever, like keeps people in line. Because you like, I don't want to be like that, which is like, thinks about like the Capitol citizens. Like, not only does their identity hinge upon this, like, I'm better than everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We are obviously smarter. We are better humans in
Yep.
some capacity. And they're only getting this treatment because they're lesser than, like really, really reinforces that lovely cognitive dissonance inside.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Can I point out one more time
Oh,
this
my God.
shows
do
up?
it.
So at the victor ceremony, so here's another way that illusory truth comes up, right? So it shows up in propaganda where it's being like blasted at us over and over and we can't get away from us.
Yeah.
It comes up in the names that we call people and the little choices that we do throughout the day. It also comes up within the context of power and control and what you are allowed to see.
Ooh. Yes, this is good. I'm glad you're bringing this up, actually.
Okay.
Because this has always bothered me. Like, well, isn't everyone seeing this?
Right? So this is during the victor ceremony. They're watching the video recap of the games, right? And we've just witnessed the whole games through Haymitch's eyes. And so this is what he's seeing. Smash cut to the golden squirrels stripping Meredy to the bone. No matter that she's been long dead by this time. But people must know that. Maisie and Marit appeared in the sky together. Does no one remember? Do they just not care? Or during the games, did they show the audience a different sky? Or none at all? And did they intentionally save Marit's death to increase tension at the end? The game makers must have been scrambling like crazy to control the narrative by this point. Whatever the case, the audience here in the auditorium has embraced this version, cheering and jeering on cue. Their lack of discernment transforms the recap, validating it as truth. I hope those in the districts can still see it as the piece of propaganda it is, but no telling what they've been fed. It's literally a whole entire different world.
It's a whole other
world
world.
existed.
But okay. So let's talk. So like, who gets to see it happening sort of live? Because how do the sponsors know when to bring things in? Because if they would have to be seeing a live feed of some sort.
I don't think so.
Ooh.
I don't know that we learned that here, but in the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes,
yeah.
and then also in the Hunger Games, we see that the mentor is the one in charge of giving the gifts.
Oh, you're so right. I forgot about this part.
So the
'Cause Mags is the
mentors-
one that is bringing in the stuff.
Yeah, so the
Yes.
mentors see it in real time and know when to give the stuff. But what the game makers show the world is up to them.
And it goes back to Plutarch saying, like, well, you need to have the cards stacked in your favor for this. I mean, oh, man. You know what it reminds me of?
What?
In, like, real life. Okay. So my friend did, like, one of those, like, she was trying to do one of those House Hunters shows.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
fun.
And I was helping her film the audition tape. And I was like, okay, cool. And she's like, yeah, you don't actually need to use your house that you're talking about. You can use anyone's house. And then found out, like, too, like, it is not how I thought about it. They actually already know what house you're going to buy. And did you know this? Did you not know
No,
this?
I have no idea
my God,
what
am
you're
I blowing
talking
your
about.
mind right
I don't understand what you're saying.
House hunters, they already have bought in the house. They've already bought in the house. And then you just go around and look at other houses and it's just for show.
And then they find, oh, wait, I'm sorry.
I'm blowing your mind right
You're
now.
blowing my mind. Do they specifically, like they have a house that you're going to buy?
Yeah, you know you've already bought it.
You've already
You've
bought
already
it.
bought it.
And then they're showing you that house.
And they're like, I don't know if I want it. And you have to go over there and you have to just demonstrate. You're like, yeah, I don't know if I want this one.
But you literally already bought it.
You already bought it.
And then they show you other houses that aren't as good.
Yes.
Like specifically not as good.
Specifically not as good so that you choose that one. Or that you get the audience to pick which one you want. Or you might have an upset where you're like, oh, I really wanted that one, but we want this one instead. Like, it happens. People do this all the time. People think reality TV is real. It's not.
I mean, I knew that reality TV wasn't real. I didn't realize how not real.
I know. House Hunters in particular was not real. And I found that out. And I was like, I'm kind of disillusioned from House Hunters. I can't watch it anymore.
But that's the same thing,
This is
right?
literally this exact same thing. This is like when you were talking about, I was like, oh, House Hunter.
I mean, in a smaller, easier way, like when I flub over my words and you edit that out.
That's true. That's true. It's
the same thing.
That's a good analogy.
But you're not changing the meaning.
Yeah,
right?
no, I'm not changing the meaning. That was like, they literally, with the Capitol, they're like rearranging, they're stacking the cards in the Capitol's favor and against Haymitch to make him look like a really unsympathetic person.
Right. An unsympathetic person. And nowhere did we see a hint of rebellion.
Yeah.
Or any of the things that he thought he was doing to show the world that he wasn't playing along with the Capitol's games.
His head the entire time throughout the whole book, he's like, they're not going to paint my poster this way.
But they painted it exactly how they wanted it to be painted.
Yeah, they really did.
Right? And that's sad.
That's so sad. Poor Haymitch.
And so I wonder, like, that increases the implicit submission.
Yeah.
Because when he tried to stand up, he tried not to submit. Mm-hmm. He saw the truth. And then they took it and they warped it anyway.
Yeah.
So why bother?
Just like House Hunters.
I mean, it feels a little different than House Hunters.
It really upset me. I'm not going to lie.
I'm pretty upset now.
Yeah.
It's okay.
No, but like they like, you know, with Haymitch, like it probably really like, and it did exactly what Snow wanted him to do. He killed everyone around him. Mm-hmm. He's like, what are you going to do now?
Right.
And Haymitch said nothing. I'm going to go hide.
And you know what? Sorry, I didn't even think about this before, but this is also part of the illusory truth.
Oh, do tell.
Is that Snow continually told him, this is your fault.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Like even in the beginning when he's saying, you know, you get to choose, your death means that your loved ones can live. Right?
Oh, true.
You get to choose how your behaviors are going to result in whether they live or whether they die.
It's like the mafia choice. Like,
right? But he's being constantly told, like, this is your fault. You're doing this. You made this happen to them. And then Haymitch believes it. He
did believe it.
Because he hears it too much.
For 25 years. Forever.
None of it is his fault.
Yeah. No.
He tried to survive. He tried to show the world that the Capitol was wrong. And President Snow took that, mutated it, and turned it into telling Haymitch that it's his fault and bringing such guilt and shame within him.
Ladybugs with chips in their head, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that was not Haymitch's fault.
Not Haymitch's fault. So it's a sad book.
It's a sad book.
Yeah.
Illusory Truth is sad.
It's really sad. Yeah. How do we deal with it? Like, what do we do?
Well, I think know that it's there.
Okay.
And then try to game the system by using it to your benefit. So the more you hear something, the more you believe it. Mm-hmm. Recognize when you hear something, try to think back, when is the first time that I heard this?
Who was saying it?
Who said it? do I trust them?
Yeah.
Like, are they a trustworthy person?
Yeah.
And then go find other evidence, right?
Yeah.
So don't just believe it. Go back.
Especially if it's a
hear it?
big thing. Because like I mentioned before, like we operate on heuristics. We like move throughout the world. Like you can only do so much.
Yeah.
Like valid, real. But like something big that kind of affects your entire life, maybe you should look into that.
Exactly. Hear it the first time, hear it a few times, and then think, who told me? Are they legitimate? Like, do I trust them 100%?
Ooh.
Right?
Implicit submission.
Because you can trust someone 90% and still recognize that they're a fallible human, right? Because
Yeah.
all humans are fallible.
Correct.
You should actually not trust anyone 100%.
You shouldn't ever trust anyone 100%.
Ever.
Yeah.
So then go
People
look
show you.
elsewhere.
People show you.
Look elsewhere for other information and actually look for contradictory information.
Yeah.
So that's part of the illusory truth, is that if we go look for information and we just sort of Google what we already believe, we're going to see things.
What's that called?
Confirmation bias. Yeah, we're looking for things that agree with what we already believe. But go out and look for information that contradicts you and then ask yourself, where's that coming from? Do I trust those people? Do they have something to gain? Right?
That's the big one.
Do they have something to gain?
Do they have something to gain by telling me this information a certain way?
Exactly.
Because sometimes information can be told to you and it might be mostly factually true, but it's presented in a specific way that like is like, oh, that's a little sketch. And why are you telling me this now?
Exactly. Why are you telling me this now? Why are you telling me this in this way? And are you gaining from it?
Yeah.
And so then ask yourself all those questions and then come to your decision based on all of this. What do I actually believe?
Mm-hmm. House Hunters is a lie.
I now believe House Hunters is a lie.
Well, I mean, I think this is a really good place to pause unless there's anything else you wanted to get into.
No, I think this is great.
There's more drinking to be done.
Always.
This is such a fun drink.
It's a really good one.
I highly recommend it. So, so if you made it with us to the very, very end, congratulations. Yay.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers to you. And this concludes our conversation of Sunrise and the Reaping.
I'm a little sad.
I'm actually a little sad that we're leaving this universe. This is a good universe.
It was a good. I mean, it's a terrible.
It's a terrible universe.
It's a terrible
Let's
universe.
Be real. It's a terrible universe.
Beautifully written universe.
And I like this book. If you are looking for something that's very kind of accessible, you don't actually have to have read the Hunger Games before.
No, not at all.
To get into this, it does move very quickly. Someone I had to recently, it was like, it feels like a script. And I was like, yeah, okay. It's quick. It's a quick read.
Yeah.
It's a sad quick read though.
It's a sad quick read, but really good.
But really good. Highly recommend it. If you were interested in learning more about like these concepts, you can Google it or you can go to our Patreon.
Please come to our Patreon.
And in particular, like, you know, Suzanne Collins is a great author. Look up her other stuff. Get into it. Yeah,
she's great. And she wrote obviously all the Hunger Games, but she has lots of other books as well.
Yeah. And she very much like picks a concept, then like kind of like just like weaves it throughout.
Yeah.
Love her.
She does a great job.
Yeah, if you enjoyed us, you know, like and subscribe.
Of course. And we are really excited. Next month, we are reading Air by Saba Tahir. It is a shift. We're moving into fantasy. So this was dystopia. We're moving into fantasy. There will be magic.
I really hope I don't have nightmares for this one.
You might.
Damn it.
It's possible. Right. It's not a horror book, but it definitely is a YA fantasy novel. So be prepared for things not to be great at times and to find magical creatures that really freak you out.
Well, I don't know. Lulu freaked me out. I made that up in my mind.
That's true.
Yeah.
But it's really great. For anyone who read An Ember in the Ashes, This actually takes place 20 years after that series in the same world.
Oh, I didn't know it was part of a series.
It's not part of a series.
Oh, okay.
It's a standalone book.
Okay.
It's in the same book. The characters from the previous series show up in this book, but they're not the main characters.
Okay.
So if you read
very similar to this, actually.
Very similar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I sense a theme.
So if you read the other ones, it's going to be super fun to go back into this world. If you didn't, it's also totally fine. But it's going to be very fun. I'm excited for us to discuss it. And make sure you go grab it at your local bookstore or your library. Air by Saba Tahir.
Love it.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining our book club.
Thanks for coming. It was a good idea to eat something.
Yes.
I feel less buzzed.
Probably for the best.
Yeah. I do like being a little bit buzzed.
Yeah, a little is good.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
Okay, this is not part of the thing.
Patreon material, everyone.
I mean, you're not going to show that.
I will be showing that, actually. I will use clipping that and just be like, and this is Patreon. This is Patreon. This is our ASMR channel now. No, I'm sorry.
Goodness.